The Indian government is joining the EU's fight with Apple. More specifically, they're adding similar laws as the EU did earlier this year that will basically mandate USB Type-C charging for all devices by 2025. Of course, Apple is the main target here as they are still using a mix of Lightning and Type-C ports across their devices. Also, hey, if you enjoy some tech news, then please follow this channel because this is literally all we have here. Also, some older style phones and some other wearables will be excluded from this mandate if the implementation is deemed too expensive. And laptops will also have to adopt USB-C charging by 2026. So what do you think about this? Do you agree? Do you think it stifles innovation? Let me know in the comments. So India is joining in on the fight. So Europe was the first ones that implemented such laws, the EU to be more specific. And I also reported about 6 months ago, Brazil forcing Apple to use USB Type-C because they also joined in on the laws. And now India is here. They want USB Type-C by 2025, 2026 for laptops. And I think the exclusions actually make a lot of sense. So first of all, an exclusion is going to be feature phones. So those are these things, the very old, cheaper phones. So these have some weird proprietary connectors, and it's pretty tedious. They have these connectors, but it makes a lot of sense because let's say implementing USB Type-C instead of these random chargers costs you $5. Now, that's not that much when you look at smartphones, and if a smartphone costs like $300, $400, it's not that big of a deal. But with something like this, when the total cost of the phone is like 10 bucks, maybe 20 bucks or whatever, implementing USB Type-C for like $5 is actually incredibly expensive, and it doesn't make sense. So plus they don't need USB Type-C at all, because these things don't need connectivity with a computer. They just need a charging port. So adding USB Type-C wouldn't really make sense. It would just make life easier because you could recharge them a bit easier as well. Next, we have wearables and hearables. So this also makes a lot of sense. For instance, I have the Mi Band 6 over here, and this thing having a USB Type-C port for charging would make absolutely no sense. It would be way more expensive. It would be way bulkier. These sorts of devices just have magnetic connectors. They need very basic connectors for charging. So wearables and like electric toothbrushes and stuff like that have these sort of magnetic connectors. And lastly, what's really cool, laptops are also going to have USB Type-C charging or USB power delivery. So this is really cool because we have cables, very high quality USB Type-C cables that you can, for instance, use as a display output for a monitor, as well as the power source for the monitor, because it can transmit enough data as well as energy to power the monitor, to power that one big thing. So it would be really cool to just get a few very high quality USB Type-C cables that you can use for everything, and you can just bring them with you, and then you can use them as a display output. Maybe you can use them as an external storage device connector that's very fast and stuff like that, and you can also just use them for charging as well. So this is pretty great.